Welcome back, mathematicians. In this video, let's learn about complex numbers. Let's start with the definition for an imaginary unit. It's defined as the number whose square is -1. And it's denoted as I. And so what we have is this means I squared is equal to -1, which then if you square root both sides, you get I, the imaginary unit, is actually equal to the square root of -1. So it opens up a whole nother set of numbers that exist in addition to our familiar set of numbers, which is the set of real numbers. So now let's go to another set of numbers that it opens us up to, which is the complex numbers. The complex numbers are a plus bi, where a and b are real numbers. A is called the real part, and bi is called the imaginary part. Okay, so I have this diagram right here to kind of illustrate where we've been in mathematics and what this is opening us up to. So where we've been to this point in mathematics is using the set of real numbers. So I'm going to put the set of real numbers here inside this first rectangle. So real numbers would include 0, it would include 1/2, it would include pi, and the square root of 2. Now hopefully we're familiar with the fact that there's two subsets, immediate subsets, to the set of real numbers, and that would be the rational numbers. And the rational numbers include any number that can be written as a fraction, so we do include 0, 1/2, 0.3 repeating, 2, -6, -3/2, so on and so forth. So that would be the set of your rational numbers. Well, the other set of numbers that makes up the set of real numbers is your irrational numbers. And so your irrational numbers are made up of numbers that cannot be written as a fraction. So this would include pi, the square root of 2, the square root of 7, so on and so forth. So the combination of your irrational and rational numbers make up the set of real numbers. So what we're saying is that there's a whole nother set of numbers in addition to your real numbers, which we call the imaginary numbers. And they would be 7i, 2i, -3i. So these are all numbers that have the imaginary unit as part of the number. And then the combination of your imaginary numbers and your real numbers is what we have as the complex numbers. So the complex numbers is the combination of these two. So in other words, again, you have a real part and you have an imaginary part. This could be 3. So 3 is considered a complex number because it's got a real part of 3, but the imaginary part is 0. You could also have 2 plus 4i. In this case, we have an imaginary part and a real part. Or you could have simply the imaginary part, let's say -7i. So those are all three numbers that are considered complex numbers. So I hope that that helps gives you a mental picture for what I'm talking about when we discuss the set of complex numbers. All right, guys, good luck.